Welcome to Selections from Theosophy's Secret Teachings in the Key to Theosophy, Part 1 of 2, The Abstract and Concrete. Madame Helena Petrovna Blavatsky, vegetarian, was born in 1831 into a noble family in Ukraine, or Urian. As a child, young Helena displayed a gift for clairvoyance as well as an interest in metaphysical phenomena. Years later, she traveled throughout Europe, the Middle East, and India, studying with various teachers and Sufi saints. Following the guidance of an Indian yogi named Mahatma Maurya, vegetarian, Madame Blavatsky, vegetarian, co-founded the Theosophical Society. Theosophy, meaning divine wisdom, refers to knowledge that comes through spiritual experience rather than intellectual understanding alone. The Theosophical Society is dedicated to uplifting humanity through a realization of the oneness of life and the wisdom underlying all religions. Madame Blavatsky, vegetarian, wrote several important books on theosophy, including Isis Unveiled, The Secret Doctrine, The Key to Theosophy, and The Voice of the Silence. The Key to Theosophy unlocks the door that leads to deeper study of theosophy. In contrast to other theosophy volumes, it is written in simple explanatory language. Readers are thus able to more easily understand its fundamental principles. Today, on Words of Wisdom, we invite you to join us for excerpts from the Key to Theosophy. Section 4. The Religion of the Theosophical Society to Theosophy, the Abstract and the Concrete. Theosophist. The society is a great body of men and women composed of the most heterogeneous elements. Theosophy, in its abstract meaning, is divine wisdom, or the aggregate of the knowledge and wisdom that underlie the universe, the homogeneity of eternal good, and in its concrete sense, it is the sum total of the same as allotted to men by nature, on this earth and no more. Some members earnestly endeavor to realize and, so to speak, to objectivize theosophy in their lives, while others desire only to know of, not to practice it, and others still may have joined the society merely out of curiosity or a passing interest, or perhaps, again, because some of their friends belong to it. How, then, can the system be judged by the standard of those who would assume the name without any right to it? Is poetry or its muse to be measured only by those would-be poets who afflict our ears? The society can be regarded as the embodiment of theosophy only in its abstract motives. It can never presume to call it itself its concrete vehicle so long as human imperfections and weaknesses are all represented in its body. Otherwise, the society would be only repeating the great error and the outflowing sacrileges of the so-called churches of Christ. If Eastern comparisons may be permitted, theosophy is the shoreless ocean of universal truth, love, and wisdom, reflecting its radiance on the earth, while the Theosophical Society is only a visible bubble on that reflection. Theosophy is divine nature, visible and invisible, and its society, human nature, is trying to ascend to its divine parent. Theosophy, finally, is the fixed, eternal sun and its society, the evanescent comet trying to settle in an orbit to become a planet, ever revolving within the attraction of the Sun of Truth. It was formed to assist in showing to people that such a thing as theosophy exists and to help them to ascend towards it by studying and assimilating its eternal verities. Inquire. I thought you said you had no tenets or doctrines of your own. Theosophist. No more we have. The society has no wisdom of its own to support or teach. It is simply the storehouse of all the truths uttered by the great seers, initiates, and prophets of historic and even prehistoric ages, at least as many as it can get. Therefore, it is merely the channel through which more or less of truth, found in the accumulated utterances of humanity's great teachers, is poured out into the world. Inquire, but is such truth unreachable outside of the society? Does not every church claim the same? Theosophist, not at all. The undeniable existence of great initiates, true sons of God, shows that such wisdom was often reached by isolated individuals, never, however, without the guidance of a master at first. But most of the followers of such, when they become masters in their turn, have dwarfed the Catholicism of these teachings into the narrow groove of their own sectarian dogmas. Each religion is thus a bit of the divine truth, made to focus a vast panorama of human fancy which claimed to represent and replace that truth. Inquire, but theosophy, you say, is not a religion? Theosophist, most assuredly, it is not, since it is the essence of all religion and of absolute truth, a drop of which only underlies every creed. To resort once more to metaphor, theosophy on earth is like the white ray of the spectrum, and every religion only one of the 7 prismatic colors. Ignoring all the others and cursing them as false, every special colored ray claims not only priority, but to be that white ray itself, and anathemizes even its own tints from light to dark as heresies. Yet, as the sun of truth rises higher and higher on the horizon of one's perception, and each colored ray gradually fades out until it's finally reabsorbed in its turn, humanity will at last be cursed no longer with artificial polarizations, but will find itself bathing in the pure colorless sunlight of eternal truth. And this will be Theosophia, wisdom of God. Inquire, we have heard of a golden age that was, and what you describe would be a golden age to be realized at some future day. When shall it be? Theosophist, not before humanity as a whole feels the need of it. A maxim in the Persian Javidan Hirat says truth is of 2 kinds, one manifest and self-evident, the other demanding incessantly new demonstrations and proofs. It is only when this latter kind of truth becomes as universally obvious as it is now deemed, and therefore liable to be distorted by sophistry and casuistry, it is only when the 2 kinds will have become once more one that all people will be brought to see alike. For more information, please visit gutenberg.org.